Welcome back, everyone, and prepare to be bedazzled, because today we're going to be shedding light on how to immediately earn over $100 per day without having an employee job. So how is it deemed to be viably possible to generate over $100 per day if you lack an employee job? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much of my dismay, much of my consternation, much of my chagrin, much of my grief, much of my agony, and much of my distress, entrepreneurship is not the remedy in this context. Why not? Well, let me just explicate why not. It can take you years as an entrepreneur to establish and subsequently build up recurring revenue streams. You do not have the luxury of being able to defer making payments on your bills for months nor years on end. If you have bills that require immediate payment, then you need an immediate solution. It is as simple as that. But just bear in mind and allow this to marinate into the chasms of your mind that if you want to get out of poverty, if you want to pull yourself out of the muck and mire, the only solution is to build up your recurring revenue streams to the extent that your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate can generate enough revenue to offset your recurring expenses. So what do you do in the interim? What do you do in the interlude? What do you do before you attain profound success as an entrepreneur? How do you make these immediate bill payments if you lack an employee job and if your success as an entrepreneur is negligible at best? Well, one fleeting, ephemeral, short-term solution is to pivot into the gig economy. You are at liberty to become a gig economy worker. You can work as an independent contractor and you can sign up on Wonolo and subsequently commence working shifts. After you've completed a shift, within 2 to 5 business days, a payout will be doled out to you. The shifts typically pay anywhere from $14 to $18 per hour, which thereby typically allows you to exceed the $100 gross revenue threshold after a shift elapses. Just bear in mind that there is an hour unpaid lunch break, and you also have to drive to and from the job site. So you will be getting paid for 7 hours, even though the commitment on your end is more than likely closer to 9 hours when you count for the hour unpaid lunch break that you're mandated to take, as well as a round trip commute that will more than likely take you at least an hour to travel to and from the job site. But if you're getting paid, for instance, $15 per hour in gross revenue, and you're being paid for 7 hours over the course of an 8-hour shift, which has an hour unpaid lunch break, then by the skin of your teeth, you will more than likely be able to exceed the $100 gross revenue threshold. So you can sign up on Wonolo, and if your schedule changes, you can cancel a shift up to 12 hours in advance, and you can work as many shifts or as few shifts as you decide to do so. It is up to you. So Wonolo provides latitude for flexibility. After you have completed a shift, you do not need to wait 2 to 3 weeks to receive a payment. A payment will typically be doled out within 2 to 5 business days post completing the shift. So this provides an ephemeral, fleeting, short-term remedy if you need to immediately generate revenue to be able to immediately pay a bill. You do not want a bill to go into collections. You do not want your insurmountable debts to further amplify. So also, as a gig economy worker, you can have greater earnings potential than a minimum wage employee. since you can forego working the shifts that offer a low hourly wage and instead accept the shifts that offer the highest possible hourly wage. You never want your earnings potential to be tethered to your time. So this is an impotent, inefficacious way to generate revenue because it caps your earnings, but at least it does provide a modicum of short-term relief, and that is imperative when you need to immediately make payments on your bills. Your creditors will not allow you to defer making payments for months nor years on end. So, if you want to be able to immediately earn over $100 per day without having an employee job, then sign up on Wonolo and commence working shifts that ideally offer a payout of at least $16 per hour. So I hope that you deem this video to be enthralling and insightful. You will have to undergo manual labor. It can be grueling, it can be laborious, it can be strenuous, but it is typically much easier relative to a managerial employee job, which ironically pays less than the gigs on Wonolo. And of course it is a commitment, but it is just a one shift at a time commitment in lieu of it being a perpetual commitment to an employer. So I hope that you found this video to be insightful. You should sign up on Wonolo. You can peruse through the listings of available shifts, and you can decide whether or not to work a shift or forgo working a shift. And you punch in on the app once you arrive at the job site, and then you punch out on the app when you're ready to leave the job site. It is simple, and it provides you with a short-term remedy for obtaining short-term relief. Thanks for watching.